Hello, once again, Knights fans. Welcome back to FDUKnights.com. Here with head coach Peter Cinella. I'm Phil Pocket for the final regular season installment of the FDU Women's Basketball Report. Coach, two tough losses for you guys in overtime last week here at Mount St. Mary's and at Sacred Heart on Monday night. Yeah. What do you say to your team the first day back at practice after both of those tough setbacks?
First of all, we did a lot of good things in both of those games. It was like playoff atmosphere, a senior game. Then the next game was on ESPN, 1,000 people at Sacred Heart. Both games we have the ball to win the game, the last possession. Both games we had to get defensive stop after defensive stop to put us in that position, and we did that. So it was like playoff-type basketball for 80 minutes plus 5 each, 90 minutes of basketball. So I think that really trained us, and hopefully that we can take that, what we learned. Well, we got to do better. We can't give up those open threes that we gave up. We got to do a better job coming out of timeouts and executing what we're trying to run. And then we have to have some people make some big shots. That was one thing, is Mount really had some players make some big shots. Sacred Heart had some kids step up and make big shots. We played well, but we didn't have that play where, wow, huge shot to win the game. We need that.
Speaking of defense, held Sacred Heart without a field goal for the last 7 minutes of regulation in the game on Monday night. What defensively did you like about your team against the Pioneers?
Just playing straight man-to-man for the most part, switching on a lot of things, really doing a good job of just covering your player. Our freshman post played almost the whole fourth quarter, and they just really did a great job. And really overall, whoever was on the floor, we held them to 7 points. Very good offensive team at home. To really send that game into overtime was really our defense that did it. So we're just playing tough. Well, we've taken a lot more charges than we were earlier in the year. We're doing a good job of rebounding, and we're doing a much better job of keeping people off the foul line.
Turn our attention to this weekend, final weekend of the regular season. You guys have already clinched a spot in the NEC tournament, just depending on what seed you guys will be. In PA this weekend, at St. Francis U on Saturday at 4, at Robert Morris on Monday night at 7, both games on NEC front row. What's the mindset for your team this weekend going into the PA? We're
trying to finish as high as we can. Right now we're in 7th place. We're trying to move up to 6th place. We know the only way we're going to do that is to keep winning. So we want to try and find ways. We've never been able to win both games on this trip in the history of the school. So there's a goal for us, but we know how difficult that's going to be. So we got to go out there and play well and try and get some W's and try and move up as high as we can and get ready for the playoffs the following weekend.
So obviously the second time playing Robert Morris for St. Francis U. Both games here at the end of December, closely contested games, get down to the wire at both contests. Yeah. Do you guys look back at those games at all, or is it so long ago that it almost doesn't matter?
Well, that was so long ago. Both teams play completely different. So it just shows you, though, that, talent for talent, St. Francis PA beat us by 3. Robert Morris beat us by 2. We're right there. We're both times had a shot on the last possession to either win the game or to tie the game. So we both play differently. So we had to take a look at some of those sequences in those games, but we really looked at the last 4 or 5 games as to what we're doing, as to what they're doing, and try and make those adjustments and see how do we get a little better to now go on the road and find a way to play 3 points better than the last time.
St. Francis U plays their up-and-down style, pressing, trapping, 3-point shooting team at home. Besides obviously taking care of the ball, what's the biggest key for you guys on Saturday afternoon?
We got to make shots. St. Francis PA is going to put some points up. They're going to hit a lot of threes. They hit 14 threes last time. You're right. We got to take care of the ball. They have one of the great, steal players in the history of the league, in Ace Harrison. She had 11 steals last game against Central Connecticut. So if you give her a steal, it's a breakaway layup. You got to take care of the ball, but we got to make some shots. We got to try and counter them, and we got to play well. Like, we can't go on the road and say, hey, we played pretty good today. I think we have to play really good.
And Robert Morris season finale on Monday night. Close came in, shot pretty well against you guys from 3-point range. Kind of seemed to be the difference for you guys, or the difference for them, I should say. Is it just running them off the 3-point line again?
Yeah, we got to do a better job of taking away the threes. They hit 7 threes from Navarro, who's a great shooter, but she can't let her get 7. So we got to do a better job defending the 3-point line. We got to find a way to score. Robert Morris right now, really the last month has been an elite defensive team. They're very disciplined. They run their stuff well. They're disciplined on defense. So we got to do a good job of trying to put the ball in the hoop and find ways to be creative and score.
Awesome. Thank you for your time this week, Coach. Knights fans, don't forget you can tune into NEC Front Row on both Saturday afternoon at 4 and Monday afternoon at 7 p.m. when the Knights take on the Red Flash on Saturday and the Colonials on Monday night. NEC tournament starts next week as the Knights will determine their seed based on the results for this weekend. Be sure to stay up to date with all FDU Knights information at FDUKnights.com.